Last time on Devox plays Higurashi When They Cry. You have someone with you? What would she be doing over there? That's what I wanted to know. I don't know. Maybe she's checking on that dismembered corpse that was out here a lot. Blech, that was me. But no, maybe she's checking on that dismembered corpse that was out here long ago. Omitake-san looked shaken up for a moment. I responded as like I would if I were talking with Rena and the others. It was quite a disturbing incident. You still haven't found all the arms. Eh? And now, to continue our peaceful life in the village of Hinamizawa. Ladies, gentlemen, creatures of all origins, my name is Devox Runeheart, and welcome back to Devox Plays Higurashi When They Cry. Last time, we had a nice little picnic with everyone, and Brenna asked us, hey, I have somewhere to go on the way home, will you help me? And so we ended up going to an illegal dump, essentially, where we were accosted by some random adult who wanted to take pictures of children in the wild for some reason. And when he asked what we were doing, we joked, oh, you know, we're just hiding the body or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, they never found the arm. What? So, yeah. We're continuing off that. Yeah. Where the hell are we? Oh, yes! I realized that these were also save files from the time I tried to initially do this as well. And actually, I should have prepared this beforehand. I found something. Where is it? I know I can just edit this in after the fact, but screw it. I believe this is it? Yeah. Look at that. the original attempt at playing this game. I found it. Look at the things have changed, eh? Yeah, 2015 is when I tried to do this last. So that is when I had first attempted this. Without further ado, get back into it. Oh yeah, and we also got the tips screen, which has some really creepy music to it. That is wrong. This is also wrong. This is correct. Stop using the hotkeys, it don't work. But yes. Bright white light. What? A Colonel Sanders? Ah, of course, that's right up her alley. I understand her wanting to take Sadako and home and Rika. I understand her wanting to... Oh, I'm already starting off great. I understand her wanting to take home Sadako and Rika-chan, but I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? Probably better to hear it from Rena, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's so cute, though. Rena often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure? Now and then she's going to have to look. But a girl her age rummaging around in garbage is, well... If Rena enjoys it, then I think it's fine. What were they doing over there? Dam construction? It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch. It was cancelled a long time ago. Gathered and fought against it. Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth that startled me. That's right. It was unbelievable. They said that Hinamizawa would be sunk into a reservoir and we'd have no say in the matter. So I'm only able to be here because the process succeeded. Which one is that? That's probably Gremlin. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Oh no, it's... Damn it! Sorry. Did I? Did I? My deepest apologies, Geichi-san. It took me a while to powder my nose. No, the device changes every time. Sadako. Wait to use the can until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots white at— what the fuck? How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as that myself? Who was she calling a maiden? Sadako really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. Usual hijinks ensued. Why does Rena look like she's happy about what I just said? Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring to a point of discussion. He, Keiichi Maebara-kun, wishes to be included as a member in our activities. What do you say? What say you? Rena has no objection. Ho ho ho! I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Sadako both approve. The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval. A unanimous decision. Congratulations, Keiichi Maebara-kun. I present you with the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club. Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this? What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under a different set of rules. Sometimes they're in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. Pretty weeks. Very if you don't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Rena. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. What kind of club was it? Sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. Rena-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically this club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use. By playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day, it seemed that depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finishes in last place. I'll make things clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright? What's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy. The first rule of our society: aim only for first place. Going at it half-assed just because it's a game is not allowed. Rule number 2 of our society: for that reason, you are obligated to make it all possible efforts. The way Sadako said it, it sounded like she was saying use any means necessary. Of course, best too. Pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everyone is aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun. Alright, then I, too, will go all out. With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club. A word of warning, Kei-chan. Rena can get pretty nasty. The initiation sounded like it was going to be rough. Mion began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They had games here at the school? Well, it's a club, so I just realized that I haven't had the volume on. Haha! 7 minutes in. Better than an hour. And that's why I'm constantly looking over here, because I'm always checking the volume. You can hear the goofy music now. Alright, they have games here at the school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine. Click back in. Complicated games will put Kei-chan at a disadvantage, so today we'll play a game that you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game? Like Old Bachelor. Old Maid? Alright, let's do this. Oh. Alright, let's do this. Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think? Oh, well... the oil-based paint, right? Right? Oil-based. Base painting with oil-based paint? This is perfect. Sadako cheered on the idea on. Didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. It's gonna be like this, that I can't lose either. Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. You're gonna cheat. They've already blatantly said do all means necessary. There's no way in hell they're not gonna cheat. Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference. There's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. Pretty thrilling game. Pick out a card now. Rena took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everyone stared at the card intently. Well, it'd be pretty obvious in the endgame. No way to tell at the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. Are they marked? No, it couldn't be. This deck is pretty worn out. No, this deck is pretty worn out. No way. Can everyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is? Remember the second rule of our society. Keiichi-san must try his hardest to win as well. The number of cards are quite unique, Keiichi-kun. It'd be pretty easy. Perfectly. He said that so matter-of-factly. Suits me fine. I don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear of each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. This was a test. They were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it. I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence will soon be crushed. How about I tell you your hand starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. By the way, the Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. I am out. I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming. Demons. You're all demons! Rena isn't a demon, are you? About that, Keiichi-san. Sorry, Keiichi-kun. It's the 3 of Hearts, isn't it? Out. Not a single hint of mercy. Rena, even Rika-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with, and alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. But if our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match on a deserted island, these would probably take it to it like fish to water. You can already picture the joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins. Since KG finished last, he has 5 points. There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard. It's unfair to Keiichi because don't use a new deck. It's fine. Keiichi-chan is a man after all. He can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for Lily Petty to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think? The petite hand laid itself upon my head, which was trembling from uncontained frustration. It was Rika-chan's. Keep on fighting, yeah. Thanks to Rika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down and get my ass handed to me once again. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis. I think clearly Keiichi Maibara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It was just as Ren had said, each card had its own distinct markings that made them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory. Great, Keiichi-kun. Like that. I cover the uniquely marked cards with my hands or other cards, arranging them in a way that they couldn't be seen. The one with the ripped corner should be 5. And... no. I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Sadako fanned out her cards for me. You see, I'm on the 7. Is this the one? I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it. There was a bit of dismay in her expression. Is she faking? Like she doesn't want it to be taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me. I know. It's this one! Got it. 7 of spades. A cheer of ooh rang out. What is this? The 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. It wasn't for memorizing the markings. The slight changes of their expression as I was selecting a card were enough. Can't hide it from me, Keiichi-chan. This mark means the 2 of diamonds. What? She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too. It's rare, but it's a collateral. No! Kei-chan, could it be you? They told them apart by different marks. That mark was the nail scratch, so I put a new one on it. You saying you disguised it as the 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit. Keiichi landed a clean hit. Clap, clap, clap. That's great, Keiichi-kun. That was an incredible match, you know. Having defeated the Forerunner, Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. While by total points I was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm gonna end up the loser, but I'm satisfied in one-upping Mion at the end. Wahahaha. That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top and ensured victory. Even if Kei-chan gets first in this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that? Of course I do. Let's have a duel. One chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it? He fell for it. The chance for an upset that would be possible without goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back. The card on my right or the card on my left. If Keiichi-chan can guess which one hand the Joker's in, then he wins. When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you? If you lose, then I'll show you the card in the other hand. Is that okay? The other 3 gulped nervously at the unexpected turn of events. Alright, you've got it. Mion grasped 1 card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was. Which one? Wonder, Keiichi-kun. Be careful. Yeah, of course. This is my chance for a big comeback. Looking closely at the card on my left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I had. It was one I hadn't seen before. Well, if they're playing Old Bachelor and it revolves around pulling the Joker out, it would be less worn, wouldn't it? That card is... I didn't let that bit from Sadako slip by me. Mion clicked her tongue. I didn't recognize the card on my left from the small number I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Sadako's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. If it had already appeared before, that meant it definitely wasn't the Joker. Oh. Keiichi-chan thinks it's the one on the right? Will you choose that one then? Will you? Left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that card on the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't that a bit too rash to decide based solely on Sadako's reaction? More carefully. Ah, I remember now. That mark, the left card, no doubt about it. The 7 of clubs. Ah. The 7 of clubs. See. I've won! The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. That meant the card on the right was the Joker. And then just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right hand was the Joker. What could Keiji-san possibly be saying? The left one is... Shh. Oh, what makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, Kei-chan? Man let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be, but I know the one on the left is a 7 of clubs. Then, doesn't that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right? Yeah, one of those is the Joker, right? Keiji has good intuition. Huh? Riki-chan, what do you mean by... So basically, 7 of clubs. I discarded that by matching it with Sadako's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile. So that means, Ian pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card. That means... Ooh. See, I get it. That left card disguises the 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression. Couldn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is the left one! It was an intense moment. The 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best of the best. That's probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Riki-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. Huh? Riki-chan is... Rena and Sadako gasped at us, as if they had seen a ghost. What is it, Rena? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This is fair and square. Rika only pet someone on the head to console them. Huh? Meaning of... At that moment, Rena let out a small shriek. Keiji-kun, is this how it was? You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far. Everyone froze. No, it was just me. It was a gamble. If you just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost. It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mian picked up the card from the losing hand. Keiji-chan, you know, you should take pride in this loss. He turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of the duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it. I, Mion Sonozaki, as the club president, do accept Keiji Maebara's membership into our club. As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everyone let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. The match is now over. The match is now over. The victory is mine, Mio Sonozaki, and our exalted loser is Keiji Maebara. Everyone made a commotion, applying cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing. When Mii-chan pulled that little trick behind her back, I got excited thinking she's gonna do it again. When Keiji-san stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought he fell for it. He fell for it quite handily. Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly? Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You're all demons! You're monsters. Demons everywhere. Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day of participating, I'll go easy, okay? It would be a problem if you refused to come to school. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker, and it's large and oil-based. Okay, here we go. She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly to my face while I was still immobilized. No. No! I let out my death throes. Yep. As soon as the club activities were finished, Rena flew off. Probably so she could dig out the cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence. Amount of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Rena would be grateful to them. Amount of treasure, meaning the damn construction site from before. Alright, Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. So there, you know, at that damn construction site. Something happened there? Long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I was expecting here. I decided I'd listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the dam reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably. Oh. I would have fought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures of the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There wasn't any violence, was there? Assaults or murders? None. He promptly cut me off. Same as Retta had. Her words signaled the end of the discussion. Tomitake-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later. See you tomorrow. Hey, Chad, you can't wash that off until you get home, got it? I got it, I won't. Neon held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Mion, you shall rue this day. If our roles were ever reversed, I'm gonna slop it on. All over your face, so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. Upon riding home, I went straight to my mom. I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. It'd be funny if you just like put a dot or something like that. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. Not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered in my ear. Shit, I didn't want to make more voices. You don't get a picture, you don't get a unique voice. Welcome home, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay? You can't come up with a new idea? Because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work as well. Dad's paintings fed our entire family. Runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Maibaras. You've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? It'd be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house. The theme of the piece this time is in the household, so it seems your dad wants to use the house as a motif. Quite a bothersome motif. Keiichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Aw, come on, please don't use my room as the motif. Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, the mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea just to take a walk so I don't aggravate him further. Well, I guess I'll leave then. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. Got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore. That would take about an hour by bike to get into town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. Roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. Mion or Sadako ever found out about that? I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Rena was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably still taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. I might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitake-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask him for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. I spotted Rena struggling up the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him all by herself. Realizing that Tomitake-san wasn't around, I began to climb up the slope unsteadily. Hey Rena, looks like you're working up a sweat. Oh, whoa, ain't you good? Brings you to a place like this. Place like this, huh? See, she was aware of it at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where is the injured party? Huh? 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 Well, there was a report that Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Huh? You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keith-kun. Just kidding. Thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. Eh? You came for me? Oh. Well, I filled my quota for today. If I didn't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding. Oh, just kidding. Embarrassing me now. Sorry, just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. Oh, what part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. Where is Colonel Sanders? Sorry. Can't you see him in that gap? He's really buried in there. Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him inside. Colonel Sanders was the real demon all along. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seemed as though another illegal dumper had come yesterday, dumped again, and now he was buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms. Sanders, so cute. The chain on the Sanders at the store. This one though, you'll be able to take this home, Hal. Have you tried to steal one of these in the past? If Rena gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. Also, why does the store have a Colonel Sanders in front of it as well? I thought that was just a KFC thing. Do they just have him everywhere in Japan? As Rena's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. No, looting through trash piles probably isn't a crime, is it? Out of the way. I'll do it. Rena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If we got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Ichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help. You'll just get in the way, so stand back. Pulling out scraps, bending them, and tossing them aside. It became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber... Wait, you're folding these in half? How strong are you? Plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because of how little I'd progressed. I was gonna do this seriously. I need an axe or a saw or something. That's enough, Keiji-kun. So sweaty. You don't try so hard while I'm not recording. I'm just doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. Rena began sputtering and turning beet red. Whoops. I meant to say I was trying my bestest to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. Roll my back all over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Rena patted her handkerchief against my foot. Felt pretty nice. Well, wait a minute, okay? Pretty close. I'll bring you some tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rena took off running. Cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rena was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. That was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. There were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically going back quite a few years. Quite a disturbing incident. Seems like they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. Oh, I'm not doing the voice, it's a memory. It was just as Tomotake's... If it was just as Tomotake-san said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. The large parts of society drawn in by the incidents as well. So it had to be recorded. Somewhere. That would be so rain damaged, especially if it's been there for years. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages, looking carefully for the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. What is this? Epic music. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Ren had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Ren and Mian said they didn't know. It had happened without a doubt. As long as Tomotake-san wasn't lying. Honestly, he could have just been fucking with you, man. Just reversing you messing with him. Both Rena and Mian. Then if both Rena and Mian. Yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. But an incident that neither Rena nor Mian wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they had tried to conceal it out of good intention. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Oh, I thought someone was yelling. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching, murder by dismemberment. There it is. The fractured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph of the colored pages in the front. Pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. When I could return at any moment, feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. Tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. The victim had been the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as. It happened. It really did happen. Assume the details were on the next page. Turn the page without pausing. On it was. The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces: the head, arms, legs, and torso. I understand just from the headline that it was just so terrible incident. Normally a lynching is just assaulting and murdering, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder. Done by a group of people. With hatchets. With pickaxes. With an axe. Yeah. Sorry. you? Startle you? Rena dropped the axe she was holding into the grass after being startled by my voice. Hey, Shiki-san, you see earlier. Yeah, you said it would help if you had you. So then I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in panic, continuing to explain and apologize. You'd have been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry, I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. Oh, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. Pretty worn out. It wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. We brought it after all. Oh, bless me. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. Ha 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 ha. Really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. Both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now grown cold. I took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Okay, so he took it with him. Yeah, I can understand using an axe to cut, but like pickaxe, no, that essentially be smashing very inefficiently. You've received new tips. Few new tips. Happy music. Jam out to that. Inamizawa Dam Project and Special Tabloid Report. Okay, so that's probably the entirety of the thing. Let's hear about the dam project. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin number XXX, Inamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam will have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The flooded area caused by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa, Takasudo, Kiyostu, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. The submerged area includes 291 houses. Population 1,251. 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, agricultural cooperative, forestry development lumberyard, 5 shrines. Ooh. Would they have actually allowed that? Because like that's not a lot of people, but oh boy, do they love their shrines. Like you don't mess with Japanese shrines at all. 2 temples and 1 fishery. So 7 significant religious places. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood, sweat, and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. Citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company XXXXX openly refused. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. Or, the continuation of that frightening, yeah. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity. And I understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onigafuchi Defense Alliance has been dissolved after it did its part, but the feeling of unity it garnered have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll be able to confront whoever that decides to sink their homes in the basin. Onigafuchi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Ichiro Himayoshi. Himayoshi. Not a name we've heard before. Gotta read some dirty magazines. Night River Falls, the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. In X month of X day in XX Prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder/dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated into homicide. So said the aforementioned investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. XX had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself in to the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, XX, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide a body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consensus of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden. He came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting the body amongst them, making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. XX had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated, but what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. XX had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound, was what it meant. Thus an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but XX threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his agenda. XX's plan collapsed in the span of one night. XXX, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. Criminals were arrested one after another, but the de facto leader XX's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by XX has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, the horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that XX said he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the marsh. XX's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues as to his whereabouts. XX didn't trust his companions. One could not deny the possibility that he expected his companions to confess to the police and use his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area of which he could have escaped to. But within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as the Onigafuchi, the Ogre's Abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to a hellish world of demons. So it was the Ogre's Abyss Defense Alliance? I think is what the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance? The atrocious demon from hell was that XX. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? Tone shift! The Zijin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune. Prosperous future. Ladies leaping into your arms. Business success. Promotions. Ambition. Protection from harm. Not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Dijin Dragon Bracelet DX, One Piece. How much is that? Hold on. How much is this in Monopoly money? 27800 and 2 had $268.13 in Monopoly money. All right. Let's continue. The function of this school as an educational facility was very questionable. Our PE class is exceptionally disorganized. The only things we do together are the warm-ups at the start. There isn't even there after that. All we do is play together. Hi. No helping it, everyone is a different age or gender. The only rule is that we have to stay on school grounds while exercising. All the little kids were gallivanting about. Well, they certainly are being creative. They might have been getting plenty of exercise, but the Board of Education probably completely forgot about this school. Actually, just write down a time for no particular reason. What the fuck are they all wearing? Sorry to keep you waiting. We're all together. Sorry to keep you waiting. We're all together now. What shall we do today for PE? Forgot to do voices there. Alright. We have all our members gathered. Alright, we have all our members gathered now. Now then, class representative, what shall we do for PE today? What shall we do? Mion harumphed and crossed her arms haughtily, surveying the area. Explosive power and endurance. There are no friends in the world of sports. Everyone is a rival. The only thing you can trust is your own body. What the heck do you mean by that? You really read too much manga. I quit without missing a beat. And so we'll be taking lessons from history. The tried and true king of all outdoor melee events. Let's play tag. It was quite the adorable choice to make after playing it up so much. Just what I was hoping for. That dunderhead Keiichi-san shall be the first one to be it. Won't be beaten. I'll try my best too. You can't beat me. Why are you guys all so into it? The third rule of our society, you must partake in the game, enjoying it without question. Then counts as a club activity. Everyone smirked at each other. They all seem pretty confident. I'm a man. Physically, I should be able to keep up with any girls my own age, you think. Regardless, Mion and Sadako looked like they were aiming for victory, and Renan was looking at me as if pitying my disadvantage. Fine. Tag. I'm in. My yell echoed across the school grounds. These were the rules. Anyone who was able to evade being tagged before the bell was the winner. But we didn't switch who was it. The ones who were tagged by it also became it. So zombie tag. So the number of people who were it could increase exponentially. Endgame would become a hellish siege. They called the version we're playing zombie tag, you see. Yeah. They call the version we're playing here zombie tag, you see. I see. Anyone infected by a zombie turns into a zombie. How do you make it sound scary, I wonder. As soon as I catch Rena, I'm gonna tear out her entrails while still alive. She's still alive. Gross, Keiji-kun, that's gross. Riki-chan placed her hand on Rena's head as she panicked. Don't worry, before Keiji gobbles you down, I'll leap you up gently. Rena, Rika, that isn't comforting at all. Both Mion and I nodded deeply. So the first it. How do you decide who's the zombie? With rock, paper, scissors? Well, it is class time after all. Let's decide by answering questions. I'll ask the questions, and the one who isn't able to answer them is the zombie. I have no idea which grade level they're coming from. Oh no. What does the Japanese word roku mean? I was bewildered by the sudden question. Oh, Mion repeated it. So you need to answer. What's roku in English? Oh yeah, it is 6. I know how to count to 10 in Japanese, that's about it. Ichi, ni, san, chi, go, rokusei, chachi, kuju. Karate! How about Kuchihita? Fox. What's the third letter in the alphabet? Oh, the third last letter. I was like, what? It's 6. What does seibetsu mean? Of course I know what that is. That... Sadako cut herself off before finishing the answer. I see, it's quite a lewd question. What? You're an adult, aren't you? Of course you know what it is, right? Oh, they're fucking like 10. I certainly do. Of course I know. Then go ahead and say it. That, you know. That. What does that mean exactly? Sadako looks like she's in trouble. How cute. Don't take her home, it's a crime. If I don't nip it in the bud, she really might have tried to take her home. Mion's pursuit was relentless, making Sadako stammer. Now then, go ahead and say it, nice and loudly. What does that mean? I do know that... That means a person, thing, idea, action, or event which has previously indicated in context. All of us were a bit surprised by Riki-chan's unexpected answer. I see, well, that's certainly what that means. That could have been awkward. What would have done if what I would have done in Sadako's position? I'd probably get ticked off and blurt out, you know what, at the top of my lungs. Hold on, what is the word again? Where is it? Where is it? What does that word actually translate to? Say that so meaning. Oh, it's just sex. You were trying to trick a toddler into saying sex. What the fuck is wrong with you? I wouldn't want you as my enemy, Mion Sonozaki. Thank goodness you were born a girl. If you were a boy, you'd probably be a perverted asshole. I got news for you. Women can be pervs too. It appears I have no choice. Unfortunately, I, Sadako Hojo, shall assume the role of zombie. And you'll eat everyone! He seemed raring to go. All I must do is count to 100, right? Some jerks skip numbers while counting to 100. You can start chasing after you solve this problem. Whoa, Ichi couldn't give her a simple one, okay? 1/5 of a cake, 1/6 of a cake, 1/7 of a cake are all on a plate. Oh no! There's no common denominators? Sadako grabbed a stick in a panic and began drawing a cake in fractions on the ground. If Sadako, who can eat one cake in 60 seconds, eats all of them, how many cakes are left on the plate? Just as I finished giving the word problem, Mion shouted. Ready? Go! On Mion's signal, everyone but Sadako scattered. Heh, Ichika, that wasn't a problem at all, was it? Sadako had already lost the moment she started working it out. She's eating it all, so of course there's nothing left on the plate. Everyone dashed off in the direction they thought was best. Knowing the lay of the land, they probably headed right to the best spots. It was obvious that I was at a disadvantage. At a time like this, I would have been more effective to go along with those trained in survival skills, like Mion, for example. The fact that I didn't realize it at the start of the game probably hurt my chances. Glancing back over at the school grounds, I saw Sadako raising up to start. He was really, really mad. He got tripped up with such a dumb question. I stood at one of the corners of the school. I had clear sight lines in two directions that would really probably have a good response time if any zombies started closing in. For the time being, I caught my breath and was focused on I was trained to think during club activities yesterday. I think calmly, Keiichi Maebara. If I was it, what would I do? Increasing my numbers would be the shortcut to victory, and going after the weakest player first is the obvious plan of attack. Meaning me. Now then, where could Keiichi-san possibly be? I shan't let you escape! But of course. What would be the best method to track me down? Footprints or smell, or maybe some type of trail. If I could craftily hide my tracks, then there would be no trail for Sadako to follow. But I was no detective. Would I even be able to do that kind of thing in an amateur game like this? Tomita Okuma. What the fuck? Tomita Okumura. Have you seen Keiichi-san any recently? What the heck? Do zombies hunt their prey by asking nicely where they went? Tomita-kun and Okumura-kun pointed out to the location where I was hiding. After confirming she was heading in this direction, I abandoned my position. It wasn't easy to hide myself with all those little kids running around as they pleased. It was becoming even more obvious that I was at a disadvantage from not being familiar with the surroundings. That's how it was going to be, then to confront this intelligence-gathering zombie, I just need to counter in a similar vein. I approached some girls playing with a ball. I'm sorry, but could you relay this message? Tell Sadako Hojo that her parents are at the gates, please. Message, okay. Stop the girls as they turn it off. Wait, don't go yet. Also, take this one to Mion Sonozaki. Tell her the teacher is calling her to the gate. Well, haha, I am quite the schemer if I do say so myself. If things went well, then Sadako and Mion would run each other at the gate. It would put me at a disadvantage if more people were it, but that meant Mion. This is Mion we're talking about. She'd figure out a way to escape. But that was just fine, as long as it bought me more time. Mwahaha! Dance for me, Mion and Sadako, in the palm of my hand. Having my fill of playing the con man, I looked for a place to hide. If you think about it logically, I'd only brought myself a scant amount of time. And it might even come back to bite me. Once I become paranoid, started spreading false information about through messengers, I could end up being the recipient of one of those messages. Sadako would probably ask the messengers to help look for me. That would mean there would be more zombies than participants in the game. The virus that was brought about by my mischief could cause an epidemic. All my classmates could transform into zombies, and would only be searching for me. This tactic might backfire horribly. While trembling at the thought of the impending dawn of the dead, I began searching for a safe house. I found a shed by the incinerator behind the school. After climbing up to the roof, I held my breath. Okay, I was thinking, like, can you just not, like, climb on the roof? Because some people just can't get up there. Probably. It wasn't a bad place to hold out. Not only did I have a good line of sight, but if necessary, I could jump off in 3 different directions to escape. It was getting rowdy down there. The lower gates were running around below the shed. Ibara-san isn't around. Is he over there? Nope. Where's Keiichi-san, I wonder? His dad is at the front gate. That was definitely a lie. The word gate is the same one I'd used, gave a hint of revenge. So Mion was behind this. I was still keeping one step ahead of the game. Felt bad for my underclassmen, but they'd have to search until the school bell. Hey, do you know where Keiichi-san is at all? His mom suddenly got really sick. Message from my Maibara-san. They said his house got fired and he needs to come to the gate. The jumbo jet fell on top of the Maibara residence. The police have come to question him. Anything goes now. They say he enjoys peeping into bathrooms. What? The truth is going around every night stealing underwear? What are they talking about? I heard he wears underwear on his head and smells them and stuff. No way I would do that. I heard that class representative Mion was a victim too. What? Yeah. This was your doing, Mion. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. This is Mion's battle tactic to flush me out. Just hold on. If I understand if the classmen thought about it logically, they would know it's all nonsense. Small kids don't think about things logically. To them, all those things were true, so they all chuckled together while looking for me. I win, Mion. It's my victory. Wiping unrelenting tears away, I felt intoxicated by my own victory. Did you hear? I heard that the new transfer student, Maibara-san, is a really perverted person. Cost of being Mion had been too high a price. Ah! Oh, someone passed below. That's Rena and Rika-chan. Rika... Oh, no, she's a zombie. Rika-chan, you're still okay? Getting by somehow. Oh. Oh no, it's these two talking. Rika-chan, you're still okay? Getting by somehow. Seems Mi-chan is it as well. Mion? It couldn't be. She'd become it because of my little strategy? This confirmed that Mion was behind this relentless message war. Then, this wasn't good. only got away from Mii-chan, but Sadako-chan, she's... Sadako was searching around the pipes. We should be safe here for a while. Upon hearing that, I breathed a sigh of relief. While Rena was slumped on the ground, breathing heavily, Riki-chan had started creeping up to her. Riki-chan doesn't normally make noise when she walks, but it's strange. It couldn't be. Oh, Riki-chan? What is it? What is it? Oh? Don't worry. I had never seen Riki-chan smile so creepily before. Why are you coming closer? Why? Riki-chan isn't zombie, is she? Don't be scared. I'll be sure to eat you gently. But no way! Riki-chan! Eek! Rena was pressed against the wall and Riki-chan lurched forward with both arms out, just like a zombie. Rena quaked with her back pressed against the wall. It was quite a surreal scene of horror. Like one of those zombie breakout videos you'd see. At that moment, Rena's eyes met mine. Keiichi couldn't save me! Zombie Rika-chan turned 180 degrees, Exodus style, and glared at me. Found him! I see Kei-chan! Mion popped up from behind the cinder block wall around the garbage dump, also seeing where I was. My position was only advantageous when there was one zombie. Being surrounded was not good. You said you located Keiichi-san? I could tell that Sadako was rushing my way. It seemed that Rika-chan had let Rena escape, and now she was baring her fangs in my direction. Come on down, Kei-chan! The three zombies circled the shed, moaning curses. You guys are scary. Too scary. I wonder how Keiichi-san's guts... taste. Keiichi-san! Keiichi, I want you to become one of us. Someone please save me! I saw Rena apologizing to me from across the schoolyard. An apology. Sorry. Leaving me for dead? Rena! I leapt off the roof out of fear, slipping as I landed. Sadako and Rena jumped on top of me, and after straddling me, they tickled me all over my body. What? Stop it! Stop! Yeah! So that means Rena is still left. There isn't much time until the bell. Damn you, Rena! How dare you leave me for dead? The feelings of a zombie. I understand how vengeful ghosts with lingering regrets feel. It's so sad. The Keiichi is one of us now. It felt like I've been bitten by a vampire was now one of their thralls. It was a strange feeling being welcomed over to the side that had pursued me. Zombie tag is quite profound. There's no time to postulate. How do you know that word? You must capture Rena. The principal is walking down the hall. The bell will ring soon. Devour Rena, I, who had been turned into a demon of vengeance, needed to use any means necessary. Except I wasn't just a zombie. I was a master of the night, a vampire. Using the same trick that had tightened the noose around my own neck, I used my classmates to further my evil designs. Gathered up the lower grades from around the school grounds. Everyone, listen! Rena's in big trouble. All of you, please look for Rena. Is it a bigger problem than a jumbo jet crashing to your family's house? Oh yeah, I hadn't turned into that, hadn't it? Was so nonchalantly trying to avoid the blame. Yeah, not even in the same league as a jumbo jet. What fell on Rena's house was a space colony. A space colony? Yeah, a really big disaster. Everything in a 100-kilometer radius was obliterated. That's only the prelude to this tragic tale. This is the beginning. What the fuck is going on? This is the beginning, the start of the war for independence by the Propagandopoly of Zeon. Lower grades were dumbfounded, their eyes like saucers at the grand turn of events. What will happen? Will the Terran Federation lose? Praise the Emperor. If things go on like this, they will. Only one person can defeat the Red Comet. That person is Rena Ryugu. Lower grades students all gulped. It had made them fully understand that the fight for Earth was lost without Rena. Now scatter, comrades, we must find Rena. My comrades in the lower grades let out an enthusiastic cheer and dashed off in various directions around the school grounds. There was still one person who hadn't gone. But I thought the Terran Federation's impulse wave disposal cannon didn't work on the Comet Empire. You're close, that's the white variety of those comets. The reason it didn't work was because they didn't know the weak point. Of course, Rena knows all their weak points all too well. Yugi-san is amazing. Satisfied with that, he also rushed off and looked for Rena. It does seem like there are some promising up-and-comers amongst the youngsters. Little Kei-chan's abilities. This old man knows them better now. I don't really feel like she was complimenting me, but whatever. Really though, how exceptional Keiichi-san. This looks quite promising. If we have this many, we can win. With this many, we will win. I was thinking that Keiichi would have made a better nominee for the initials, actually. Rika-chan's words stung a bit, but I'd let them slide for now. Not even Rena would be able to escape the entire class. As a result of everyone's thorough search, Rena was finally cornered in the back of the sports equipment shed. You're all scary. Keiichi-kun too. So scary. It probably was scary being chased around by the entire student body. All the lower grades closed in on Rena, saying she was the only one who could save the world. You all saying, I can't control a mech. Rena, how could you leave me for dead? Are you ready to pay for it? I'm sorry about that, Keiichi-kun, but I didn't have a choice. Do not resist. Let yourself be devoured. We'll be together. Now, Rena, say your prayers. Mwahaha! Rena had stumbled onto the mat, trembling with tears in her eyes. I closed in. Associating the situation with a similar, particularly immoral one made my pulse quicken. Why are you being perverted? Sadako and Rika-chan were both wiggling their fingers. They probably wanted to tickle Rena. Rena, wanting no part in what she knew was about to happen, went stiff with fear. Keiichi-kun, you wouldn't do mean things like everyone else, would you? Would you? I wonder. Oh, well. Now then, are you ready? Okay, as long as it's Keiichi-kun. The face she made as she resigned herself to the fate made my heart skip a beat. I believe Keiichi-kun won't do horrible things to me. Body, don't move. There had to be some sort of anti-zombie mantra. The second my sense of reason chimed in, the beast inside me died instantly. There was a bell. Game over. Yay! I did it! I did it! I survived! Yay! Yay! Rena pranced around merrily as if curse had been broken. The daylight broke in the nick of time and the evil zombie army disintegrated to dust. So the heroine survived. Well, that's how it goes in the movies anyways. What are you postulating about? This is all because Keiichi-san was dawdling about. And as required. I was subdued by Sadako and Rika-chan and once again sentenced to death by 100 tickles. Forgive me! And the award for surviving goes to Rena Ryugu. Wait. Oh, you bitch! Then the award for surviving goes to Rena Ryugu and Mion Sonozaki. Yay! Huh? Mii-chan wasn't a zombie? Only pretending to be one. They say you need to deceive your allies before you can deceive the enemy, you know? Oh, Mion, you little. Yeah. Hurry up and change, alright? Don't be late for the next class. Let go of me, Sadako. Rika-chan. Having had my fill of being terrified to my very core by club activities, I solemnly swore I would have Mion crying for mercy next time. Yep. That was fairly cute. After arriving home, I quickly made preparations to head out once again. I had agreed to meet with Rena to dig Colonel Sanders out of that mountain of treasure from before. Mom, do we have work gloves? I need towels too. Aren't they in the shed out back? Towels are by the sink. Alright, now I was ready. Looking at me, my mom stared quizzically. What's going on, Keiji? Where are you headed to with that getup? If they come to dump again legally, he'll be buried completely and it'll be impossible to get him out. If that happens, Rena will undoubtedly go after the Colonel Sanders in front of the fried chicken place in town. A bit of excavating, so my classmate doesn't become a criminal. Well, don't be out too late. Mom returned to the kitchen with a puzzled expression still on her face. Just doesn't even question it. Heading through the woods as a shortcut to the dam site, I ran into someone. Muscles! It was Tomotaki-san. Probably taking pictures of wild birds again with that precious camera of his. It couldn't be that all the pictures It couldn't be that all he took pictures of was handsome young men in the twilight? Hey! Or, no, what the hell was this voice? Dude Chad voice. Hey, long time no see. Keiichi-kun, right? My due regards. I expelled the rude imagery from my head and greeted him without indicating anything. By the way, was that girl an acquaintance of yours? He was probably talking about Rena. Guessing the way Tomotaki was shaken up. What's that all about? Walking around with what was that all about? She was walking around with an axe. She was laughing with a huge smile across her face. That was Rena, without a doubt. It was probably because she could take it home today, so she couldn't hide her excitement. I hid myself because I thought it might be dangerous. Should I call the cops to be safe? Well, it certainly would be quite the spectacle for a girl of her age to be roaming around with an axe. Tomotaki-san's reaction was the epitome of logical. It's fine, it's fine. Just leave her be. She's just wandering around looking for more victims. Tomotaki-san was alarmed by my crass response. Well, it's probably hard for normal people to understand, Rena. I'll just talk a bunch of BS out there. If you're gonna be killed out there, she'd probably be the one to do it. Try not to snoop too much around here. With a condescending smirk, I started off in the direction of the dam where Rena was waiting. Before I got too far, Tomotaki-san abruptly called out to me. Keiichi-kun, is that meant to be a warning for an outsider like me? Fuck it, I could do the voice there. Oh, I didn't mean that seriously. I did try to make it obvious, but... I'll try my best to be careful. Leaving only those words behind, Tomotaki-san turned around and left. I didn't really mean to call him an outsider. I wasn't really implying anything when I said that. It was only meant to be a joke, but I felt like I said something bad. Outsider, derogatory. The big basin of rocks. Hey, Keiichi-kun. Waiting for you. Let's try our best today. I understood what Tomotaki-san was trying to say. Someone gallivanting around while waving an axe around certainly would seem dangerous. You should cover the axe with something when you have it in public. It's no good to carry it around out in the open like that. Seems that I lost it, so there isn't one. Talking about it, there really was no need to try and keep up appearances. Everyone in Hinamizawa probably already knew about Rena's eccentricities. Probably the only person who could carry an axe around Hinamizawa and not be considered suspicious. Ah well, let's finish this today. If we burst through the last beam, we should be able to pull him out. I've got everything we need. Leave it to me. Okay. I took the axe from Rena and made my way up the unstable slope. Just wait, Colonel Sanders. Keiichi-kun will save you. Alright, get back. I'll finish this in one go. Solid thwack ran out throughout Hinamizawa as if the job was being done by a lumberjack. Is it? Think you can do it? If it looks too hard, you don't have to strain yourself. If I can break through this, then we'll be good. I have plenty of power today. I can do it. Confidence. But this adversary was more formidable than I had expected. No confidence. First of all, I'd never used an axe before. During the school camping trip, I had wanted to split the wood, but I lost at rock, paper, scissors, and wasn't able to do it. Because the spot where I was standing was so unstable, I soon became tired. I decided to take a break. Rena had already spread out a tarp and laid down some tea and sweets. I'm fine. I'm almost there. I'll make sure Rena can give Colonel Sanders a goodnight kiss tonight. Yeah, thanks. Giving Colonel Sanders a goodnight kiss. Ow. Come to think of it, Rena, you're a transfer student too, right? Where did you live before? I asked her nonchalantly while drinking tea. I thought that she'd lived here all her life. Condo. It wasn't as rural as it was out here, but it was still out in the country. How did you move here? Hinamizawa, I mean. No, this is pretty far out in the boonies. Why did you move here? Have to do with your dad's work? Dad said he wanted to move out to a studio. He'd been saying for a while that somewhere deep in the mountains like this would be perfect. Studio? Your father an artist or something? He paints scenery. Seems that twice a year he opens a gallery for the stuff he does. When he started, his works were displayed in an industry plaza in Tokyo, but now they're exhibited in the Makuhari Messe. He's determined to have them displayed in the Waterfront International Exhibition Hall. That's amazing. Let me see them next time. I was too embarrassed to tell her that I don't really know what kind of pictures my father painted. Well, eventually I would. I picked myself up and gave some vague answers. But you transferred in the middle of the semester, didn't you? Wasn't that a hassle? Not really. I was getting bored of the city anyways. I was trying to get answers from Rena, but I ended up being the one giving out all the answers. With a bit of a wry smile on my face, I grabbed the handle of the axe and headed back to work saying. The air grew colder as the sun slowly set. Higurashi began their song as if to tell me to stop and head home for the day. Just a bit more. Today, I would end it. When I first started, I chatted with Rena as I worked, but now I didn't have that luxury. Hooyah! You little... Damn it! I had swung the axe countless times today, just like this. Contact. Shards of wood splintered. The assailant butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes. Recall that passage from the tabloid. One hit with something like this would smash someone's head in. Axes and pickaxes were not meant to be swung at people ever. Axes absolutely were. With one last swing, actually pickaxes too, war picks. With one last swing, the beam cracked apart. The weight I put behind the axe not only split through the beam, but smashed the statue's shoulder as well. Arm came off with a sickening sound. It clattered down noisily, stopping at my feet. Ah. What's the matter? You hurt? Sorry, the figure's arm. It broke off. Oh, that's all? I thought Keiji hurt himself. I probably had a really guilty look on my face. Rena said that without a hint of dismay as she smiled. Just need to tape it back on and put a coat over him. Nobody will even notice. I see. Let's pull him out then. Can you get that side? Okay. Seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms you see. I laughed dryly at how pathetic I was for considering that arm flopping down and rolling at my feet to be such a bad omen. Both Rena and Mia knew how sickening that incident was, but they pretended they didn't know. I had looked it up all by myself. Shamefully enough, I was scared. You're pathetic, Keiji Maibara. All right, Rena. Let's do this in one go. Ready, and... Oh. We did it, Keiji-kun. Yay! The right time to give 3 cheers. That moment, of 2 days of work bearing fruit. He who was brought to Hinamizawa covered in filth to meet his end. Instead, we were able to welcome him back. You're pretty lucky, Colonel Sanders. Your new master is a pretty decent person. Colonel Sanders, he really is cute. Didn't matter that he was dirty. Reynolds nuzzled him cheerfully with her cheek. I was dead tired, but seeing Rena's happy face made it all worth it. I'll help you carry it back. Be bad if it gets dark. Yeah, right. Really want to thank you, Keiji-kun. I won't forget that. Think real hard about what you'll do to repay me, okay? Well, wonder what kind of repayment. Wonder. For now, I just hold back my evil cackle. We were ready to take it to her house, but we couldn't go like this. We rolled the statue up in a tarp and lifted him. We are carrying a body bag. And a hatchet. So Jack and Jill went down the hill, carrying a human-sized bag and an unsheathed axe. I prayed that we wouldn't run into Tomitake-san. He saw us here and took a picture. We need to get rid of him. Lol. Is that meant as a warning for an outsider like me? Or is that meant as a warning to an outsider like me? Something struck me as odd about the words Tomitake-san, unable to grasp my sense of humor I had left behind. Tips? Oh. What kind of name is Rena? Is that not a normal name? You all need tips. Or something? Rena's not here. You know where she is, Keiichi? Huh? She was just there, actually. Hey, Mion. Where did Rena go? Rena? Didn't she go to the bathroom? She did say she did have... That? I hadn't heard anything about that. Sadako, do you know where Rena went? Rena, you say? I just passed her in the hallway. Rena has class duties today, so she's off to water the flower bed. Ah, it was Rena's turn for class duty. That's very much appreciated. Rena, Rena, Rena. Upon hearing it repeated, a thought came to my mind. It's rude to say this about someone's name, but it was a weird name. It was like some foreigner's name. What kind of name is Rena, I wonder? What kind of kanji does her name use? Rena is her nickname. The proper name as well. What, really? We're sure that Rena Ryugu was her full name. Well, I can understand... Pardon me. I can understand you making that mistake since you only call her Rena. Even signs her name as Rena. It's like it's her real name in school. I wonder what her real name is. Ask her when she comes back. Sadako and Riki-chan looked at each other. No need to ask her. I'll tell you what it is. It's the Rei from Ore and the Na from Nara. Huh? Oh. It's the Rei from Ore and the Na from Nara. Her real name is Reina Ryugu. Reina, is it? So it's read out as Rena instead of Reina? Pretty interesting reading. No, that's not it. Reina is the correct one. Rena had told us that she wants us to call her Rena. So we call her Rena. Kei-chan. Rena is Rena, you know? Only strangers call her Reina. You get where this is going? I understand what Mian was saying. It didn't matter what her real name was, only what names we used between us. Rena Ryugu is Rena. She's nobody other than that. So I was thinking, if I had a nickname, would you call me that? If it's good. What do you want to be called? Con Man. Why? Rena then came back to the classroom. One of the juniors in the door told Rena people were looking for her. This now. Looking for me, I wonder. Seeing that, both Mian and I sneered. Bailiff, Ryugu doth show herself. Con man, you're quite sinister. Wahahaha. What is this? What is this? Keiichi-kun and Mi-chan are evil bailiffs? A con man? Damn you, Renanosuke Ryugu. Today doth be when thou meetest thy maker. Have at thee. Kaku-san, show them what for. Aye aye, sir. Expect my fee to be paid into my Swiss bank account. If this has come to this, we have no choice. We'll have a grand battle with 5 people. Are we on the floor? Rena's fierce punches exploded in proper timing to take out the seal. The evil that was Mion and myself was vanquished in the end. I do hope that Rena does go on a journey to make the world a better place. How about heading to Nagatacho? Destination is decided by where the cute stuff gathers. Told the bell signaled the break time was over. Come on, Keiji-kun. Teacher's coming. I took Rena's hand and stood up. It was just as the teacher had entered the classroom. One more hour. Man, oh man. Gotta buckle down for one more. Okay. Well, given certain things, I think this is where we'll be cutting it today. Back and save. Rain. Because you'll notice something. I might have procrastinated. And I'm uploading this video very soon. So I'm gonna be cutting it here a bit just to get done any editing or whatnot before I upload it. Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Next time, I have no idea because now we've gotten Colonel Sanders out. Tomataki's probably gonna say some shit and something's gonna happen because it seems like the suspicion or whatnot has kind of dropped. It's like, yeah, it's perfectly reasonable that, and that even if they do know about this thing they're denying, it's like, it's a pretty nasty thing that happened they don't want to talk about. Yeah. We'll see what happens next. Till next time, have a good one. Bye!